This guy has schizophrenia, and not just one or two personalities. Deep inside, he's got 24 different identities living in him: men, women, kids, even wild animals. The story kicks off when Casey wakes up from being unconscious, her head pounding. She finds herself in a locked, hidden room. Across from her are her two friends, Claire, the blonde, and Marie, the brunette. Marie's terrified, repeating over and over that there's a man outside. Before they can even process what's going on, the door suddenly swings open. A man with glasses, named Kevin, walks in. He doesn't say a word, just stares at the three girls. Marie, trembling, instinctively pulls down her skirt. But that small gesture makes Kevin choose her. Without a word, he strides over, grabs Marie, and drags her out, despite her struggling. Hearing Marie's screams behind the closed door, Casey starts to remember what happened. Earlier that day, the three of them were just getting ready to head home when a strange man snuck into their car and knocked them out with some kind of spray. When they woke up, they were already locked in this room. A while later, Kevin brings Marie back, furious, yelling loudly before slamming the door and storming off. Turns out, because Marie pulled her skirt down out of fear, Kevin saw her as dirty and threw her back into the room. Claire wants to fight back, but Casey stops her. She realizes that no matter what, the three of them together wouldn't be strong enough to take down Kevin. Their only real shot is to wait for the right moment and escape. Meanwhile, Kevin goes to see his psychiatrist. On the outside, he seems normal, but in reality, he's dealing with serious dissociative identity disorder. The doctor has a gut feeling something's wrong, especially after receiving a weird email, obviously written by one of Kevin's other personalities, asking for help. When she questions him, he denies everything. Left with no other choice, she lets him go. Back at the hideout, Kevin switches personalities again. The girls hear a woman's voice outside. Peeking through the crack in the door, they see a woman in a red dress and high heels walking by. They scream for help, but when the door opens, they're shocked. There's no woman. It was Kevin, now acting as one of his female personalities. This woman says she's going to go talk to him, then leaves. A little while later, Kevin returns, this time, acting like a 9-year-old boy. That's when Casey finally figures it out. The man who kidnapped them isn't just disturbed, he's living with multiple personalities. Casey tries to connect with the child version of Kevin, hoping he might help them escape. But the boy is clearly afraid of something, a much darker personality hiding deep inside, one he calls the Beast. As this is happening, the girls find a possible escape route through a vent in the ceiling. It's going to take time to get it open, though. When they start making noise, the child personality runs to the door and starts banging on it. Casey and Marie hold the door shut while Claire keeps working on the vent. The kid panics when he can't get in and accidentally calls forth the Beast. Luckily, Claire manages to climb up and escape through the vent. But there's no exit, she ends up hiding in a closet. The Beast, now in control, chases after her. He finds her hiding, leans right up to the closet, and forces her to come out and take off her clothes. Terrified, Claire obeys. Then he locks her up in a separate room. Meanwhile, Marie is falling apart. She believes they're all going to die if they don't do something fast. During a meal, she grabs a chair and tries to attack Kevin, then runs, but she doesn't get far and is quickly captured again. At this point, another personality shows up, one that keeps drawing creepy pictures of some kind of monster. He says the Beast is coming. Casey doesn't want to hear any more of this. All she wants now is to get out. And she realizes the only chance she has is through the child personality, the only one in Kevin that still seems to have some humanity left. Casey tries to talk to the boy. She notices there's a small window in the room, so she gently asks the kid to show it to her. He agrees, but her hope quickly crumbles. The window is just a painting. Total letdown. She pleads with him to help her escape. But the kid, thinking Casey is just lonely, gives her a little radio and tells her she can use it to hear other people's voices. That small gesture lights a spark of hope. Casey switches the radio channel, and someone actually picks up. She desperately begs for help, explaining she's been kidnapped by a psycho. But just when she thinks she's saved, the person on the other end thinks she's joking and hangs up. The kid feels tricked and hands control back to the kidnapper personality. He storms in, snatches the radio, and puts Casey back in her room. But this time, he doesn't shut the door. Instead, he says, "Tonight is a special night. After tonight, everything will end." Then he walks off. At the front gate, he runs into Kevin's psychiatrist. After their last session, she had received hundreds of emails with the same subject: "I need you." That's what led her here. He reluctantly lets her in, but keeps checking his watch like he's in a hurry. While they talk, He brings up the beast again. Unlike before, this time he doesn't deny its existence. That's when the doctor realizes which personality she's talking to. Out of Kevin's 23 known identities, only 3 believe the beast is real: the woman, the little boy, and the kidnapper. The rest have all been suppressed and can no longer take control. Knowing how dangerous Kevin is right now, the doctor looks for an excuse to leave. But before she can, she gets curious about a locked door. When she opens it, she finds Claire locked inside. She's shocked. Kevin's behavior is far worse than she imagined. As she turns to leave, the kidnapper knocks her out with some kind of spray. Later, Kevin is seen outside buying a bouquet of flowers. He takes off his shirt, kneels down, and starts changing. After a moment, he stands up and climbs the side of a train car like a wild animal, then jumps onto the tracks and runs like a man possessed. This marks the full arrival of personality number 24, the Beast. Back inside, the doctor wakes up and tries to write a warning. But she hears something. Grabbing a knife, she turns, only to see Kevin shirtless, his veins bulging, breathing like a wild creature. He grabs her tightly and suffocates her. She stabs him, but the knife breaks. This personality seems indestructible. She doesn't survive. Next up, the girls. Casey is still in Kevin's room. She had hidden a small metal pin earlier and uses it now to unlock the door. Out in the hallway, she finds a computer playing a bunch of video logs, personal diaries of all Kevin's different personalities. From these, she learns where he hides the keys. She grabs them and heads out to save her friends. But when she reaches their room, the door is already open, and Marie is dead. Casey holds back a scream and opens another door, finding Claire still alive. Just as she's about to help her, she sees the kidnapper personality standing in the room. Casey runs away and manages to lock the door behind her. But the beast is strong enough to break through any lock with his bare hands. Casey finds another way out but is too terrified to open it. She finds a message the doctor left behind. Just then, the beast shows up, crawling on the walls like a gecko. Remembering the note, Casey screams Kevin's full name, and it works. Kevin's original personality comes back. He's confused, clearly unaware of what's happened. When he sees the doctor's body on the floor, he realizes the horror he's caused. In tears, he tells Casey about a gun he has hidden and begs her to shoot him. But the other personalities don't want to die. One by one, they start taking over again. Eventually, the beast returns. Casey grabs the gun and runs, but he catches up. She escapes again but ends up in a dead end. The beast closes in. She fires twice and hits him, but it's not enough. He stands up, grabs the metal bars in front of her, and bends them with his bare hands. Casey's terrified. But then something unexpected happens. He stops. He notices the deep scars all over Casey's body. They're from years of abuse. Turns out, Casey was adopted by her uncle after her parents died, and he hurt her. That same kind of trauma is what made Kevin who he is. Realizing they're both victims of abuse, the beast lets her go. In the end, Casey is rescued by police. She learns that the place where she was held captive was actually the underground level of a zoo. Maybe that explains why the beast was so animalistic. Kevin vanishes without a trace. No one finds him. But one thing's for sure, this nightmare isn't over. Somewhere out there, the beast is still alive. The film ends with a chilling message. Violence creates more violence. So please, choose kindness. Alright, that's the end of the movie. Thanks for sticking around, see you next time.